Hello, welcome to Successful Tradings. In this video, we are going to carry on from the previous video on ARK Invest and trying to answer the question, which ARK Invest ETF is the best or is the best for you? With the recent return that you have seen on all of these ETFs, it's really begged the question, can you go wrong? Without any further ado, let us go ahead and dive in. Okay, folks, so we did a video 2 days ago where we showed you part one on how to try to use the ARK Invest intraday trades. Just stay until the end of this video. We have a continuation of that. But first, let's present the ARK Invest actively managed index. There are 5 of them. So we wrote an article at successfultrading.com that takes you step by step through, first of all, what is ARK Invest. If by now you don't know what that is, you may want to catch up, because these exchange traded funds, they performed very well for people who got in over the last 12 months. I kid you not. And also for me, during this research, what I noticed was the popularity of the search over the internet about this ARK Invest ETF. So we share that in the article. This is just literally the growth that you see in here in terms of number of search is literally, let's say, over the last 4 or 5 months, and this is worldwide. This is not just something in the US. The top 5 actually region in the world where these investments are sought, if you will: Singapore, Hong Kong, South Korea, Canada, China. And the US is literally like number 6 here. You know how Google trends tend to rank as search any type of word that you're looking for. So if you go to Google and you tap in ARK investment or ARK Invest, then they tally those numbers. That's what gave us this ranking, and this is the that popularity on here. So ARK Invest, we introduced that in our previous video, which we're going to put the link somewhere here as well in the description. It's a 50 billion, about 50 billion as of now, of the January 2021. 50 billion privately owned company. Founder is Cathy Cathy Wood. Yeah. So Catherine Wood, or because I had to make a pause because I was thinking, okay, the spelling of it, you can spell it Cathie. I think that's the correct spelling for Catherine. Typically, it will be with a Y, but no, it's with an IE. So 50 billion. That money is divided. So for clients, obviously, for ARK Investor clients. So that's divided into 5 ETFs. So what we have done on here is pretty much trying to summarize it. I don't know. I'm somebody who likes to picture something. So the question then could be, okay, can you invest in ARK Invest? Yes, you can, absolutely. Do you need to contact them? Yeah, you may want to contact them if you just want your money. Say you give them money and they do that. But if you're a nobody like some of us, because obviously there are some fees, and trust me, we break down on here the fact sheet that are downloadable on this article. Actually, I think this is one of the best research article, at least for me, where I spend the time actually giving somebody, the readers, more than just, hey, this is a piece of information. This is something that you can make actionable. That's what we do here at Successful Trading, right? So imagine yourself as of now, I don't know, you should have started investing. If you're wondering where to start, this ETF could be a good place to start. So the 50 billion are divided into 5 exchange traded funds. They are actively managed in the sense that on a daily basis, they buy and sell stock out of them. And one of the beauty of it is, like, they believe in transparency in the sense that they share what's it's being bought and sold each and every day. We just hang on. By the end of this video, we're actually going to show you how you can implement a strategy you're using that. Yes. So, but for the time being, let's go ahead and somehow spend the time breaking down one by one these 5 ETFs. So the one with the most amount of money, it's ARKK. They all start with ARK. So there are ARKK, ARKQ, ARKW, ARKG, ARKF. Each one of them, let's see. This one is anything about innovation. That's really the purpose of this this fund overall, right? The fund, F-U-N-D, that is, here, seek to invest in things, in companies that will change the way that things are done. So meaning innovation, and for the future. Kid you know, that's the motto throughout. And each one of the investment, you are seeing that those are company that either the company is not like the company which have been around like 30 years. Kid you know, they are not company that's I don't know, nothing wrong with those. Like your old company, whatever they give you, I don't know, 5% dividend or no. This is all about growth, and more growth. Yeah? How much growth? Let's pick an example. Well, let's pick an example. The first one you're looking at, ARKK, the innovative ETF. So this one, yeah, it provides very low exposure to traditional indexes because it's really things that are relatively new. So in this case, the top 10 holdings in this one is what? Tesla, Roku, Crisp, Therapeutic, and Square. Pretty much for me, I just stop there. Tesla, Roku, Square. Yeah? So meaning, if you would like, my friend, just looking at the fact sheet, which by the way is downloadable here in our website. That's nice if you want that. You can actually duplicate this. You can say, hey, because this top 10, I believe this top 10 represents how many? 48% of the entire fund. That this ETF here, it takes about not half, but 18 billions of the 50 billion. That's, yeah. So that's like the main one, right? Tesla, Roku, Square. That's all you need to remember. Those three stocks, they will give you a bigger representation of that. Such a good representation that over the last year, do you want to know the return over the last year of this ETF, the performance? How about 158%, I believe. That's just on a fund. And since inception on here, actually, the number is 152%. Since inception, which dates back to the inception dates for this one, I don't have it on here on the fact sheet, but I think it's not, I think, I know it's one of the oldest one. It's more than 5 years. Oh, no, actually, yeah. The fund overall was started in 2000 and was funded in 2014, I believe. Yep, I missed to say that earlier. Yeah, 2014, headquarters in New York. So, yeah, you can then see that ARKK, if I can stop fighting with the mic, has about 6 to 7 years of existence, and the average return, it's since inception, meaning if you accumulate all of the gain, is 36%. That's not bad. That's not bad for an ETF. But over the last year, 152%. The next one is its focus. It's on autonomous technology and robotics. ARKQ. Yeah. What do we learn about on here? Well, in terms of its constitution, guess what? Tesla are going to be the main one in there as well, right? Because Tesla, it's focused on autonomous vehicle, and the other sector that's represented in there is energy and 3D printing and space exploration. So you will see some representation of that on there. So we have a fact sheet on here for this one as well. So for you to take a look if it is a value to you. And then we inserted a video on here about hey, how to use the intraday trade. Just hang on, in a few minutes here we are going to go ahead and do that. So here, for instance, ARKQ has returned since its inception 25%, but my friend, over the same period, which is literally like 5 to 6 years, right, the S&P has returned only 13%. That's that comparison, and you will be able to see nicely put in the fact sheet how $10,000 would have grown for each one of these ETFs. Very, very interesting. The third one, next generation internet ETF. The main three constituent, the main three holdings, meaning company stock that's they are traded in these: Tesla, Roku, and Square. Have you said that? Have you heard that earlier? All right. So meaning you can have a stock that's in multiple, several of these ETFs. Yes, these three, they are like the leader of all. So meaning if you think of ARK, I want you to think of three stock as of now: Tesla, Roku, Square. They are not the only ones, but they represent a great deal of this. So Inception in 2015, and here for this one, last year returned 157%. Not that past returns are guarantee future returns, right? But here's one thing we know, my friend. I don't know which movie it was. Some type of movie trying to make a parody of Kramer Fast Money. The intro of the movie was, hey, if you want to invest and make a lot of money, your money needs to move super fast. Yeah, there's a difference. The difference is, okay, do you want to see, even if it's only 1 year, my friend, 157% return versus, I don't know, pick any stock that gives you, I don't know, 5-10% dividend over how many years? How long will it take you to be off based on your specific needs, right? Retirement needs, for instance. So that's why this one, they're getting so much I don't know, attention, if you will, because this return, they are unusual. Now, somebody can say that they are outliers. I'm not telling you that the performance over the last year is going to be the same this year or the year to come. I'm just telling you that the information is there for each one of us to be able to take a look and say, yeah, because who knows? Cathy Wood has said many times that Tesla stock will hit $4,000. Many people thought that, hey, Tesla stock was garbage. So we don't know where that will be. Square, Roku of the world, we don't know where, and there are many more. Many more, for instance, in the area of genomics. Do you know what genomics is? You may want to read about that. It has to do with bioscience. So the three company in the next one, ARKG, which is the ARK Genomics Revolution ETF, it focuses in bioinformatics, bio-inspired computing, molecular medicine, pharmaceutical innovations, and of the like. So over the last year, though this one is one of the most recently founded ETFs, along with the next one that we're going to, the next and last one that I'm going to talk about, it's returned 180%. Yeah. And overall, since its inception, 29.85%. Not bad at all. Last but not least on here, ARK Fintech Innovative ETF, ARKF. This one, over the last year, the return was just 108%. Just 108%. But this one, because it is the newest one, all right? So it was introduced in February of 2019. So its first year of operation, the fund returns 108%. Not too shabby. If you want to get exposure to this one, you may want to put money in Square. Mercado Libre from Argentina. That's MELI stock. That stock, if you want, okay, let's take a look at the MELI stock. So MELI, it's just to give you an idea what this stock has done recently. All right, my friend. So here we are. Just in 2020, we can leave the past alone. Let's leave the past alone. So this stock was worth $700 in January 2020. Right now, I mean, it's in a slump here. Yeah, recently it touched $2,000. Need I say more? Say less. say less. That's all you need to know. So that's the second most important holding inside of this ARK ETF called ARK Fintech Innovation. The first one is Square. Again, let me not waste your time going to and showing you the charts for Square over the last year. That's all you need to know. So right now, this fund has 2 billion assets of their overall assets. So hence, when you look at this one on here, this represents. I like this. I'm going to put this as the thumbnail, or I don't know, like whatever thumbnail. I'm just going to put this as a thumbnail. So ARK Invest, 50 billion overall, but here obviously if you sum this, they're not going to be to 50 billion because this 50 billion, it's as of January, right? So meaning the value of these have increased since the statement, let's say this was the year-end statement that's I got from the fact sheet. So they are definitely worth more than that. So, but then the company that you see recurring on here, Tesla, Roku, Tesla. So yes, as we said before, a stock can be in different, in multiple ETFs on here. That's the case for Tesla, which is in 3 of them. Roku also and Square, they are at least in 2 or 3 of them. That gives you their importance. And then we have the overall portfolio of each one of them. So my question to you then is, which one is best? How are you going to pick the best one out of this? All 5 return more than 100%. And all 5 on here, we're trying to do something to help us out. Okay, here's my table on here. So, yeah, Mr. Fancy, I don't know how fancy this is looking at expand ratio, performance since inception, performance over the last year, and the top holdings. For me, as of now, there's really no way of going wrong, right? So based on your level of comfort, you pick one of these and you try to mimic that in your portfolio, or you just pick individual stock that you know they have great representation using this information here. This summary on here tells you everything you know. If you think that Tesla is too expensive, you can go for Roku. If you think that Roku is too expensive, or Square, but there are many others, right? That's what the fact sheets of each one of those are going to help you, because you're going to see the top 10 holding, and typically most of these, the number of stock inside of each ETF is not that high. I think the highest is like 55. So meaning you pick the top 10 stocks, they give you a good representation such that you can actually follow that. Yeah. So that's really what we wanted to do on here. But no, surprise everybody. Not surprise. We promise you the bonus, right? The bonus is that we showed you the one that they had to go into the website and get the daily trades because they actively trade each one of these ETF. And for transparency purposes, they want to you and I to have that information. The reason I was drawn into that because I've been hearing, trust me, I usually hear those traders talking about stuff. Hey, stock are popping left and right because Cathy bought the stock. So for me, I wanted to find out for myself. That's what got me in here. That's what got me into doing all of this research and into writing the article. So I went and subscribed to the ARK Invest for the intraday trade, and ta-da! This is it now in my inbox. So I'm able to save it here in the spreadsheet very quickly. So, and show you what you can do with that information, right? So, because it could be, okay, so what? They bought something or they sell something. Most of the time, I think most people are going to focus on the strategy that when one of the ETF buy into something. So here is the one. Here the one that I got some. So let me enable editing. So what is the structure of the file? The file is an Excel file, straightforward. So for me, I like to work with Excel because you're going to find out why, right? Because the way that I want to exploit this, they send you this on a daily basis. So fantastic. So now what? I want to be able to quickly track, right? If let's say I'm going to be able to use this. Let's move this somewhere here. I'm going to do this and just want to increase the font because for you and I, that would be better, so especially for my eyes. Maybe let's put this into, let's just put some background on here such that it's easier to see. All right, fantastic. So on the ticker, I want my ticker to be of a different color, maybe here. So, and then just quickly go through this. Okay, so here, what are we learning here? We're learning here that, let's see, look at the date. So what information you get? You get the fund. Remember the fund? We have 5 of them. We just told you, right? So ARKF, which one is that? That's the fintech one. Yes, that's the fintech one. So on this day, the 26th, which is last Friday, they bought Shopify and then this company called Silvergate Capital. Yeah. And the amount of money that was spent, this is they give you the number of shares. So obviously you can multiply here. I don't know what the average price of the stock to get an idea, but this here gives you the amount of money as relative to the total assets, the total value of that ETF. Remember ARKF, actually, let me do this here. Let me call this one here February 26 because I just received March 1st as well. Yes, it is 5 Pacific in California, so it usually come in by that time. So let me put it on here and I'm going to say move to end. That's way I'm going to say create a copy. All right. Okay, so now I have 2 days. I have 2 consecutive days on here, folks. Yeah. So this is March 1st. So I can go here and sort and see, for instance, which that's the activity. Now we need to know something, folks, and they clearly say that this is not representative of everything that was bought. Yeah, absolutely not. So, but hey, it's better than anything. Yeah. So you have an idea. So for today, for instance, March 1st, inside of the fintech one, DraftKings was bought 173,000 shares. So this is a how much is DraftKings? Let's see the closing price of DraftKings just as an exercise here. So DraftKings closed at $69, not too shabby. My goodness. So $69, I don't know. So the average price may be $68. So I'm gonna say 68 times the number of shares. I want, trust me, there is a reason why I want us to do this. Okay, so this here, let me maximize this. Okay, if I can, and put some dollar amount on here. Oops. Okay, my editing is not that great on here. So, that's too much. That's 11 million. Okay, that's $11 million. Okay, now this here tells us that, hey, this 11 million represents 0.25%. Yeah, that's what I want you to get at. So 11.8 million represents 0.25% of X. X being the total amount of money or the size of this ETF, right? So hence for us, we can say that, hey, equal this money divided by 0.25. So this here gives us that this right now ARK F is about 4.7 billion. How do I know that? Because I divide by 0.25. That's a percentage, yeah. So you have to add a 30 in there. So for us, in the article, if I can close this, I'm not sure. No, let's not bother. Cancel. Sorry about that. I'm doing things live here in an Excel spreadsheet. So earlier here, we have this on view on here where I told you that the amount of money that you're seeing here, right, doesn't quite represent the actual one because this was at the end of the year. So now, by that information on here, we know that the actual value here of the asset or the total asset managed here inside of ARK F, which is the fintech one, is about 4 billion based on the information, this recent information that we just got today on here based on the buy of DraftKings. So, okay, back to this. Let's try to make sense, or at least let's give you something here that you can definitely start applying. So for me, and one idea could be, okay, every day that I receive this, obviously I'm going to be saving it. Yeah. I think that's yeah, it requires some homework. Yeah, I'm sorry, right? But if you want to take that, you so I would like to say, for instance, that okay, let me pick something on here. I don't know if I did my homework right, but let's say I'm going to pick a ticker on here, trying to see if there were multiple buys, yeah, or multiple sells, really, depending on which data I'm looking for. So I'm going to go here. One stock in particular, I didn't study it, but let's say, for instance, let's start with our friend JD, right? Did they buy JD? JD was bought out of the ARKW once, 205,000 shares on Friday. Okay, when I come in today, I can filter again to say, okay, do I see any JD on here? Did they trade JD again today? Yes, they did. Okay, my friend, 2 consecutive days. This was a buy today. This is another buy here. 205,000 shares. 205. Here is 7,000 shares. Not that much. I would have liked it to be a little better. But this is how I'm doing this live, my friend. This is how I'm going to be trying to use this. Today, actually, I was looking for a stock. The reason I'm making the video now, I was trying to see if, let's say, because I saw something today, let's say, this stock, will it be part of it? Nope. This stock that is the tiny stock buyer that I'm looking for. Maybe they're the one who bought them. Somebody bought a huge amount of that buyer stock today. So let's see who that is. I don't think it was them, but I don't know if it was them. But let's say here, but so basically the whole idea for me will be, okay, let's see pin 0 stock. They sold 27,000 shares was sold today out of ARKG. Again, the selling part you shouldn't consider as a bad thing. Let me tell you why. Because inside of an ETF, there is a maximum number of shares for each stock that they can have in there. So sometimes it's really for purpose of rebalancing. So you see something like this. Again, play with this, right? So we are all trying to learn out of this how to make usage of this. But I wouldn't put that much very well, especially when there are only 27,000 shares. So for now, my advice would be to focus on the buy side and try to see really something that, for me, the one example could be which that happened with Twitter, because actually it's better if I illustrate it here. This guy here, Cathy ARK, I showed that to you the other day. They track this. So they give you the combined overall, which you can do by putting all of your Excel spreadsheet together, right? So each and every day you just paste the next one, the next one. So you're going to have a huge database that will be able to give you something similar to this. So something similar to this, for me, I want you to come here, for instance, to say Twitter. What's information? Look at Twitter, for instance. They start buying here of Twitter, let's say late January. Yeah. So a tiny amount and then a little bit more. And all of those buy, they were mostly initially, well, actually they were in just two of the ETF, ARKW and ARKG. But my friend, do you want to see the price of this stock, how it went? So this was even before earnings. These are the type of thing you want to be seeing. So when we go to the chart of Twitter on here, now you can correlate. You and I, we didn't have the information at the time, but here it is on the 9th of February, on the 8th of February, yeah, just before its earnings, yeah. We see buys 483,000 share, 476,000 share. That's a lot. 0.3% of billion. It's a lot. And then you know now how much money is in one of these funds. And then they carried on the 22nd. So when, let's say, even at this stage, you see the price definitely continued going up. And then on the 22nd, what's the 22nd on here? The 22nd is here. Yeah, my friend. That shows some conviction on there. So far, this is the best example that I could come up with, but there will be more. I will be making more videos as I see now that I'm receiving the data. I see more things like this. But so definitely, I want to leave you with, you have your spreadsheet. Go ahead, set up your spreadsheet. And then for me, I will be looking for specific stocks that they have multiple buys over, let's say, at least a couple of days and to see what's how that transpires. So let's say what happened today with Apple. They're selling Apple. I wouldn't be buying that. So I don't know, it's only 13,000 shares, but Apple haven't been that hot. So for me, I want to focus on stock that they are buying and multiple buys. Let's say even better over multiple number of days. Let's say if PayPal is one stock here, this is a buy here today, 21,000 shares. That's not much. If I go on here, I'm trying to look for PayPal. Am I going to see it? And literally, I didn't go over this, folks, before. Yeah, but here's PayPal. Okay, PayPal was actually good, 70,000 shares. I mean, PayPal is expensive now, so them buying it here in ARKW on Friday, and again buying it here today on, that's something that you can hang your head on. Okay, folks, I hope you got something out of this video trying to answer the question, which ARK ETF is best for you? And as a follow-up part 2 of the video that we posted last Thursday, also we are giving you on here a simple way to go about incorporating the intraday trade of ARK Invest fund into your trading strategy. Have a great evening. Have a great time. Leave us your comments in the video. Which ARK ETF is best for you? Or that's how either you have been riding it, the momentum over the last few months, or you're looking forward to riding in 2021. Until then,